Hi, guys. How are you doing? Let me pause this music here, and then I'll show you what I'm doing. Just a quick 30-minute video. How is the sound? I guess I better listen to my video sound just to make sure. Heard there's some problems with my video sound. Just to make. All right, that looks good. New pin chat. Okay, got it. I can pin a message to the top of my chat. Great. Well, okay, so here we are. I'm drinking coffee. It's not even noon. It's noon in 1 minute. Saturday. Coffee and live streams for 30 minutes. Let's just make sure. I turned off my phone. I shouldn't get any weird messages. I got a version of Messenger on my desktop that keeps bugging me, though. So let's hope that doesn't go off. Let me show you some stuff, and right away, I mean, look what I'm showing you now. Okay, I've shown it before, but what you're seeing is literally cross-hatching of overburden dumping in the middle of Africa, in Mali. I've shown it before, but last time I dilly-dallied. Remember that? Dilly-dallying? Did you ever dilly-dally when you were young? I dilly-dallied. As a kid, I was dilly-dallying all the time. And I was warned to don't dilly-dally. Now I'm dilly-dallying here again. Let's zoom back out so you see where we are. Sahara is really easy to navigate, right? If you know, first of all, the different mountains. Okay, we of course have our Eye of Africa. And Algeria holds the Tassil Najir National Monument. But there's a lot of other mountains. Apparently this is where Garamantes was, and that was mentioned by Herodotus. The tribes across the Sahara in the Persian War, and I don't know, maybe this thing in Libya is Garamantes. I already am forgetting, so maybe that's the Garamantes. I could be wrong, because Thebes, then Ammonia, which was apparently an area, not a tribe. That's what ChatGPT told me. And then there was Agila, and that was 10 days, so 20 days, and then another 10 days was Garamantes. I guess that was right about here. And then another 10 days, and then you got to see, and that's where I'm a little mixed up. So I have to research that again one more time. I keep looking over here because I wanted to find some images that I got prepared for you, and I guess I can do it this way. What's this? There, let's go this way. Is that what is that? That's something random from. Okay, am I gonna go the wrong way? See, it's not going in the order I see it over here, so I gotta click. All right, let's try this. So see, I'm using a new program, by the way. I was tired of that little pinwheel showing up. I think I finally figured out how to get rid of that pinwheel, but at the same time, the music, I wanted to use VLC, and now I almost regret it. So, this is VLC. right? And it's showing me up here exactly what I don't want people to see. So it's like, whatever. Okay, this is, what are we looking at here? Just some stuff. Okay, that right there, now I remember. This is in the middle of, and I can hit the plus sign and make it bigger, right? So that is actually Mauritania, and we are going to talk about that later. But first, I kind of wanted to show you some of these so-called overburden dumping. Let's get that out of there. Let's zoom in to Mali. Okay, so as you can see, Timbuktu is down there. Mali is pretty... what does that remind me of, that shape? Niger is over here. We've got some similar circular dikes. In fact, if you looked at one of my shorts, I showed these dikes. That is actually... now I forgot. It is Niger. And over here is the Mali. I don't want to call it a plateau, but I think it's a little higher. I guess if we were to really want to check this out real quick to get that answer, we could use the topographic map. Nobody is watching. I got one viewer besides myself. There. And by the way, what about that earthquake in Morocco? 1,000 people dead. That is quite an earthquake. And I don't even know how many, what the level of Richter scale reading was. Should have done this. All right, yeah, look at that. So here we are looking at this area, and it's just barely any higher. And the way it shows it, we're looking at the numbers over here. When we see yellow and green, yellow-green is 1,000 feet above sea level. When we start to see kind of the orange, more red, let's just go to red, it's 2,600 feet. I'm not really sure. Let's zoom in a little bit. Later on, we can also change this to show the imagery. I think that's what I'm talking about right there. But that'll be a little misleading, so I don't want to see that right now. I want to see the actual heights. Alright, so there you go. You've got basically the highest points right on the border, and it's about 3,000 feet above sea level. And then when you come down a little bit, it still stays white, so it's still about 3,000. We can zoom in. Is that a river we're seeing there? That's it. It's not going to show us what's here. We see like all this activity over here. I call that pre-rendering activity because, hey, now we have people. Great. Hi, Dude 2K64 and Ziggy Dan. Hello. Ziggy, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, these dikes. Last time when I get started, you know, the music plays and then I talk about a lot of random stuff. Okay, so we were looking at this. We were looking at let's back out just a little bit. Right here, this area, we're looking there so that we see the heights 3,000 feet above sea level. I mean, when I see these darker areas, I kind of feel like they must be much higher. Let's zoom in. Let's get the imagery going. But no, I think we can zoom in here without imagery. It seems to be the white part. See, when you zoom in, it changes everything. Okay, so now the white is no longer 3,000 feet. The white is now 2,654. But in general, we've got green, so 2,200 feet right there. It's kind of hard to tell. You've got blue. The riverbeds are a little lower. Those are under 2,000 feet. So the riverbeds are kind of a good way to get to the lowest point. So as I was just showing, and I'm going to emphasize this one more time, I really don't believe these are dikes anymore. You see them crossing over waterways. One waterway here, a few waterways. And the question is, which is older, the waterway? Well, you see the breaching that goes on. But what is hard to believe, what is unbelievable, and when you see this super dark area, is it possible that this was all laid down by some overburden dumping? Okay, that's really dark and opaque, so can't really make an argument there, but I can show you some other areas where I can make that argument. Just right over here, I can make that argument. This is overburden dumping. These are like little poops. And by the way, I had a new thought that, I mean, because look, I'm going to go over it later. I'm going to come back here in a minute, but let's go over by the Taman Rasset River. Now, in Mauritania, this dark patch, let me back out, it's above the Eye of Africa. And there's a couple, I mean, I say Frederick, but it's Fideric is what I'm talking about. And there's the Tamanrasset River went over this. Where, I don't know. I mean, I always assumed the Tamanrasset River ran along here. But according to the research, the Tamanrasset River the ancient Paleo River went up and over. You are joining this chat. Humanity Hoax, welcome. Of course you can join the chat. That's why it's a live stream. And I will be happy to show your questions and answer them. I'm just going over some stuff that I found very interesting. So when you zoom into this area, and you got to get super close, you start to see the same types of lines. Now, not right here. I'm going to show you something right there later. I've got the photo ready. But let me find the area I'm kind of talking about. So when you're it's in the Western Sahara at this point. Actually, there's a bunch of it here down below. You zoom in and you can see it right there under the sand. Okay, so when you look at this stuff and you say, oh, those are dikes. Those are dikes. Are they volcanic dikes? Well, I got some photos of those, and they don't really look like volcanic dikes to me. So this is from that area. So I kind of went ahead. I'll show you photos of over there. See, that happens. I am using a new software. Oh, yeah, how do you talk? You'd probably have to call me. Let me go through the material, and if you want me to, I don't know how you can call me without me giving everybody my number, but it's not really a secret. I don't care. What is that? I mean, it's right in the middle of just the desert. And here's another one that is out there that's kind of interesting. I got to be careful because I don't want to get them mixed up. What am I looking at? I found these on the Google. What's this one? Okay, that's different. That's the Roman wall in what city? What's Tunisia? Thank you, Tunisia. Okay, so here's an arch in the middle of this area. So it also kind of goes towards all this work that was done. It's always next to arches. If you go to Utah and you see the arches in Utah, they're right next to all this other weird stuff that I've been looking at. So ancient mining like a million years ago, and of course the art that these ancient miners did was arches. Why? I don't know, but I just have a hard time believing that one right there is natural. When you look at the edges, it doesn't look like it's natural erosion. It looks like it was shattered, broken, hit, hammered. Okay, so how do I look, by the way? I'm not paying attention. How's everything behind me? I don't have any of them pin-up girls back there, do I? Okay, so that's one thing. And, you know, here's the problem. I kind of forgot where this stuff was. But what we're seeing... Oops. But what you can do is... I think that's the one in Mauritania as well. In fact, is that the same one as this? Is that the same thing? I don't think so. So let me just go through these since I'm almost done. These are what we're looking at. They're not dikes, okay? They're gigantic. Look, that's like practically a city right there. And what are they doing? They're probably mining or processing, or I don't know. That one right there looks like those are tanks. Maybe they're getting gas out of the ground. There's a lot of mining activity going on out there. Almost done, and then I want to go to the Google Earth and show you these areas. So, I mean, when you look at this, it doesn't look like a volcanic dike anymore. And we're looking at it from ground pictures. I think that's another one. These are from Google Earth. I don't want to open up Google Earth. I mean, I do want to do it because I want to show you, but I don't want to go through the process of looking at pictures through Google Earth. This is why I got this done earlier. I'm not taking a survey right now. They should know. I mean, it's Google, right? They should know I'm in the middle of a live stream. Okay, so the area that I am talking about is here. And I've got the photos checked, so they all start to show up. And you can probably see some of them right there. That doesn't look like it. That's not one of the ones I grabbed. That one I've seen before, and you see a lot of stuff going on. So you can go through Google Earth Pro. This one as well. Where are these hiding? I found these and I didn't show them. I thought I showed them last time, though. So I won't worry about that right now. Some of these over here in Niger. And by the way, when you zoom in, they start to add up. But there's very few over here, and there's one of them. I believe did I not just show this one? I showed this last time. So these images, some soldiers hiking through. Oh, well, scratch marks. Okay, let's zoom in here and take a look at what I'm trying to demonstrate. Okay, these are not scratch marks. These are mounds, and these are all lined up in a row next to each other. So why don't you explain that to me? It's not a scraping, it's a dropping off. When we zoom in here, we can see water does breach through some of it. So, but we see these are piles of rocks. Let's not forget that they're all lined up next to each other. And some of it does some cross-hatching. Look at this one. I mean, this doesn't fall into the category of volcanic dike anymore. And yeah, mountains, I understand how mountains form. I don't think they form like this. I don't think they form like that. Your dissertation, did you get a PhD in scraping? I'd like to read that. I really would. I'm very interested. But currently, I'd love to take a look at some of this stuff and figure out why. Oh, look, it's nighttime in Africa. Why are these things all lined up? Well, I've already made the assertion that I believe microbe hills. Answer what? I guess I missed some comments. Microbe hills, like they've been built by microbes. They did some kind of a chemical reaction. I would believe that before I believe they were volcanic dikes. That's for sure. Let's get into the Google Earth. I don't really like this environment. This right here is actually over back in Mauritania, and there's something I want to show you there. So, oh, I know what I'll do. But let's get back over to this area that I'm talking about right now. We can see there's like these weird circular dikes over here. Now, these aren't as scraped or worked on top. It looks like it's covered with sand. Those things are interesting to me. But when you get in and you start to look at the dark areas, that's not the lines that I'm talking about. This is actually kind of, what is that? Is that a river or a dike? I'm sorry, is that a river or a canal right there? That's an interesting one, but that's not what I'm here to show you right now. I'm here to show you these lines. Now, this is a pretty bad scan. It's all faded. It's not good, and I keep going over to these better areas, but just what I'm trying to say is that this whole area has these lines going across it. Those are a little thick, so I'm going to keep moving. But we can see these lines. This is not a very good scan. It's going across the river. We've got a big one there. How wide is that? Let's see the width of this thick one. They're not that wide. That one's actually 0.2 of a mile, right? No. Wait a minute. Let's just go to feet so I don't confuse myself. Okay, so that's 100 feet wide. That means that these skinny ones are a mere 20 foot wide. Now, as I've said, I believe it's ancient overburden dumping. Okay, well, why don't you just keep typing and tell me what you want to talk about, and then I'll consider doing that after I've finished showing some more photos that I've got lined up of this area. You know, I was getting nervous. Okay, now these are over here nice and dark. Now, when you zoom in on these, they're just like look at this one right here. Like this one went over here and then started again. Yeah, I've never been a fan of the Twitter space there, humanity. I'm just, I think this is another smoking gun and when you look at over by Mauritania, I mean, why are they doing it? Okay, I was going to say it earlier and I never finished my statement. Part of me thought maybe this overburden discharge that you see here is actually some type of a vehicle, like leaving its waste behind, like they were using rocks to run vehicles and it would actually throw the waste out like a basically like a stomach in a colon pooping out what it doesn't want anymore. And the other question is, what's still left in there that's Which canals are we talking about? I know you've been watching my stuff. Look at the way this cross hatches. This is almost like the, I mean, why would they consistently go in the same directions across? Like, you can count 1, 2, 3, 4 big ones. I really believe that they're trying to build up something here. And what about these dark areas? Can we zoom in and see that? To me, that doesn't look like the same thing. To me, that looks... if it is any thing, I mean, we can get right about here. We can see that's a line, that's a line. So is that not a really thick layer? And then what do we have about this thing here? How can we explain that in nature? Well, it looks like those things are going up and over. Is this not like a super thick... Okay, so a mile is 5... I always forget. Let me just... I want to say 5260. Is that correct? Feet? How many feet are in a mile? 5280. Okay, so that means a tenth of a mile is 528 feet. I keep forgetting that. So when we talk about the dikes that I've seen in, say, California, or, sorry, I meant to say North America, New Mexico, like that right there is literally 2/10 of a mile wide, a fifth of a mile. So these are almost closer to the size. And when we're looking at these little tiny skinny ones, yeah, thank you, humanity. I always try to remember that. I always, for some reason, put a 6 instead of an 8. I got to remember 528 is almost 530. So 5300 is a over roundup of 5280, 5300. I'll try to remember. I got to start just saying 5300, and then I'll remember to go down 20. So these things are really thick. I mean, but are they possibly also some type of a dump? Look at these lines right here. I mean, you can see the dotted lines. 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the whole thing is about, as I just measured over here, about a tenth of a mile wide. So is it possible that could have been done by humans? Hi, Orfeo Treshula. Ancient canal systems in the Americas. Are we talking? Oh, in Louisiana. Okay. Well, I kind of got past all those. I am quite interesting ancient canal systems in Louisiana, but we did discover, and I was debunked when it comes to the. I'm just going to flash that on the screen. When we talked about the things in Cape Cod, and we talked about that. It turns out that is actually mosquito abatement done after 1930. So I was debunked. Look at this one. It's almost a 90-degree angle there, but we can see that line, so it's really just a intersection. In fact, we've got two, and there's an intersection of two of them. Okay, so yeah, Orfeo, I do believe that over by the delta of the Mississippi River, there is some stuff that still needs explaining, and it looks like it's underneath the water. So I do agree with you that, but I'm kind of over it a little bit because I feel like it could have been done during modern times now. And so I don't know. I'd like to see more evidence. So you get another plateau like this where it's all scraped up. And the question I have is, did they do this mining and then they dumped it here so they could go through it and process it? I mean, is that what we're seeing here? This is down here. Okay, I thought we were way up there. So again, you have this river going through here. Pretty clear that's I mean, it's not obviously it's not a it's a dry river bed at this point. But it has gone through, and it looks to me like these lines were trying to cross it. Now, I don't see him on the other side, a little bit on the other side. Storm Run Gaming. Hey, I'm looking at these dikes and saying they're not natural. And I want to stop calling them dikes. The Dribble Mountains. I used to call these things Dribble Mountains. Do you remember when we made those types of sandcastles where we dribbled the sand and made the castle? I don't know if you ever did it. Sandcastles, what do they call those? I don't remember what we called that. Yeah, you know what? I mean, I guess that's a Twitter space would be doable if because I'm almost done here. I'm almost finished. I just want to kind of go over some pictures I had. Let me go through. Where did I do it? Where is my? I thought I had it prepared. I guess I don't. Okay. Well, that's easy enough. I just go here and open it up to my page, facebook.com/wasthisatlantis. And I put this thumbnail from this video right here. And this is the thing I want to show you in a second. I'm just going to go through. And here's the other thing. The continental divide. All these dikes are going along the continental divide. Yeah, I want to be prepared. You're gonna tear me apart. Let me open up Twitter. I mean, why don't you open up the Twitter space and invite me to it, and we can work our best to make it work here. And if you tear me a new a-hole, I'll. I mean, I am questioning mainstream. So I guess the big question is, do you consider yourself mainstream? Okay, let me go through these pictures real quick. So these are the new ones I added. I went through the continental divide. This is another one, very interesting one. Now this is actually right next to the place that I visited. Here's another one. Look at those two dikes. Now they go up into a quarry. So and here's a butt. I know that the butt in Spanish Peaks has got to be created. It's right next to another dike. It's like they just dumped a bunch of stuff. So these dikes here, natural arch. Oh, okay. So is that the arch I just took a picture of? It's kind of funny because I don't think that's it. Hold on. Let me open it up. So is that the same one? I don't think so. What's the title of this? I think this is from Africa. It was out in the middle of the Sahara. Can I... You know what also bugs me is it doesn't have the... I just want to... Oh my God. Like this? No? Whatever. I'm trying to get it so I can get it off. It's not letting me. What's going on here? Where's that other one? I thought exit full screen. But then it's opening it up like that. I don't want that. Anyways, whatever. I don't think that's the same one. Let me take one more look. It does kind of look like the same one. But the hole's a different shape. And, okay, anyways, I'm pretty sure I found this one in Africa. But there's an arch just like it. Wait, I know what to do. Let's click here. If we click here, it'll open... Okay, that's a picture. So I can't click there. I'll go to Google Earth maybe, but never mind. If I click there, you can see all the pictures. Just go to Natural Arch Trailhead. If you see that group of people, let me know. This is an interesting one. This is actually in Africa. And this is an actual interesting one as well. Wait, let me get back to the comments so I can see what we're talking about here. I am not MS. I am SME on Atlantis. Well, are we talking about Twitter? There's a Twitter notification. Nope, that's Jimmy Corsetti. If you didn't know where he is, he went to Lebanon. So Jimmy Corsetti is in Lebanon right now. I just found that out. Anyways. Yeah, a space. I guess I could probably create one. Oh, you know what? I think you can only create spaces if you pay, right? Create space? I've never made one. I got rid of my blue check mark. Because of the fact that... first of all, I didn't want to be paying every month. I thought I was going to be able to use that check mark to get in and... I don't know how to make it. I don't think I can make a space. Connect. No. Space. Let me just type space. Spaces? Space? Spaces. X spaces. Live audio conversations you can join whenever, wherever. Yeah, but where's the option to start? Can I do that if I don't have a blue check mark? Start my space. How do I start a space? Let's try that. How do I start a space on Twitter? Okay, The creator of the space is the host. Spaces tab at the bottom of your timeline. Spaces tab at the bottom of my timeline. Okay. I don't know. You go down forever. So where's the bottom of your timeline? No. It says verified. Learn more about premium and verified organizations. Features. Because I thought that you can only do that if you paid. And I'm not seeing that answer, so I could be wrong. Okay, let me just go through these pictures and then I'll focus more on what you guys are chatting about. That was also in Mali. And the reason why I show you that is because these are super skinny. These are piles of stones. And for some reason they were using these kind of to do terracing, I guess, in what looks like agriculture. Now, these are all in the Facebook page, so you can click on this yourself to find it. But these are pretty much the same types of mounds, and these are super skinny. Let's go to the next one. You got to remember to zoom out. Okay, this is also kind of 90-degree, kind of obvious to me. I don't know if I had to go to a different map to get this image because Google Earth was not doing a good scan of this area. So you can check out both Google Earth, go to the facebook.com. These are all in that area that I was just at. So the last thing I want to show you, again, if you go down, that's the two dikes that I drove to up near the head of the Colorado River. It's still about 50 miles away, maybe even more, but I was on my way when I passed through here. And it is the Continental Divide sign. Willow Creek is right in there, right in between, right about there. So that is the Continental Divide. However, when I started following the Continental Divide, it gave me a different location at that latitude. So I was kind of wondering, it was kind of flat, but I was wondering why it didn't show that specific spot on like where people will hike. Instead, it showed this, and this little dikey thing here, which is at an angle. I don't want to actually go there right now, but that is where the actual Continental Divide Trail is. And you kind of see an arc here and in a corner, and it's something else way over here, like a big, huge thing. I'd like to see that up close. And I did look for Google Earth pictures. There's nothing really helpful because, I mean, the road, that's a road down there. That's a really big area. But I found a whole bunch of other things, dikes along. Now, my straight ones in New Mexico, I think you can't be saying. I'd like to see what Humanity Hoax has to say that. All right, where is the... Yeah, I know about the satellites sucking. I'm going to go over the... Hi, David and group. Joe, welcome. What is I am not M/S? What is that? I mean, Humanity, can you say in one sentence what your dissertation was? What was the title of your dissertation? I mean, you could probably copy and paste that. Okay, I'll take I just want to show one more thing before I get too far away from the... And I'm already far away because I'm going to the Facebook page, and I'm trying to show you some stuff that I got before. There's the cross-hatching, so you can click on it yourself. And then that's South Africa. I think we talked about that already. I don't want to talk about that. But the cross-hatching, definitely want to talk about. So go there yourself, check it out. Now I'm going to show you one more thing over in Mauritania that I thought was quite interesting. Because but when you look at these lines and you zoom in, you can see, first of all, what kind of a vehicle would do that? What kind of a natural occurrence would do that? So I'm wondering about both. I mean, look, I was debunked. I want to be debunked. I hate thinking about this. Look at this one. Look at those lines there. Tell me the natural way they cross over each other like that. Or they're going side by side in a way, but they're... And look at those lines in there. Somebody was doing some mining between them right there. What was... except you see the sand. Is that sand caught in there? Or is that the sand at the floodplain? Because there is a floodplain, really, right? I mean, I know this is a big area, but when you zoom out, you've got desert that's beige, and it's flat. There's not a lot of stuff going on. There's some ripples, and if you believe what I do, look at this. The funny thing about some of these ripples is that it looks like there's bedrock sticking up through it. But right now, I'll probably see over here in Mali, you've got that going on. These ripples are actually shaping bedrock. That doesn't sound right. So when I say vehicle, I'm talking like a big old ancient tractor, like must have run on rocks. It was a rock-run vehicle, and it would grind up, use the nutrients in the rocks to make the vehicle move forward, and then dump out the waste. And it would do it. Maybe it was built to build mountains and make these plateaus. I want to know what you have to say about this. Okay. All right. I'm reading what Humanity Hoax. I'll just show it real quick. What Humanity Hoax is saying, because well, thank you for that, Opheo. I'm really self-conscious about my voice, because Humanity has been mentioning a lot. I was trying to do a space, but I don't know how to do a space. So if anybody else, I think Ziggy, you have a check mark. Do you have spaces available? I mean, where's spaces? Home is like, I might do a space up here. I don't know. Martin Short, poor Martin Short. They're really picking on him. I think he's a great guy. I remember when his wife passed away, and David Letterman said, "How's your wife?" And he just said, "She's fine." And she had just died, and I thought, was that a rerun? I mean, he didn't say, "She just died, you idiot," like Rod Stewart did when David Letterman asked about the pregnancy, and it turned out she had had a miscarriage. Communities? No? Okay. I'm not going to worry about that right now. Let's go back to the... Thank you, Humanity. Well, I was a lecturer for 30 years. Okay, let me not get out of the... Let me not expose my panties here. Okay, the last thing I wanted to show... So, I'd really encourage you to take a look. I mean, when you get in here, sometimes you can literally see that a mountain... Yeah, like this one right here. Well, that looks like it's been machined. Okay, so that's not what I'm talking about. But you see some areas where that dark, opaque plateau or mountain, you get up close to it, like this right here, and you'll see all the lines in there. Okay, that's not it. And you wonder to yourself, how did the lines get so close together? And I'm convinced, okay, so Randall Carlson said, and I played the video in one of my shorts recently, it was mined by someone. Yeah, that's what he said. It was quarried by someone hundreds of thousands of years ago. So, who did it? And hundreds of thousands. And right after that, if you watch the video, it's not in my clip. He says 200,000 to 1 million years ago, people were taking this chert out of the middle of the richat structure. And I'm like, well, who's doing that for 1 million years? You know? And of course, over the last 1 million years, this Sahara was green. Look at this right here. Look at the difference in color. I'm waiting to see an explanation for that. I can do better. I didn't do it very good. It was barely good. Brad. Okay, anyways, I'll practice and then we'll try that again. Okay, so you're going to put your cell in there and I'm going to call you right now. Is that what you're going to do? And then we'll delete the number. And actually, it might not even... I don't think they're going to allow you to do that. Why don't you message me on Facebook? I have to turn on my phone. So I'm turning my phone on. Just write this down. My area code is 442. Okay, what was I going to show you? Before I give you the rest of that phone number... 44252. Okay, well, forget Facebook and write this down with a pencil. 44252. I'll remember the rest of the digits in a second. I got ripped off, man. I gave away a gift card and it turned out a scammer came in and got it. So I'm looking at these dark... I mean, it's like someone just went right on top of that. And you see when you get here, you can also see what looks like skinny lines were what created that in the beginning. So maybe there was a project A, and then project B came along and went on top of it. Right now, I'm convinced that somebody did this. So humanity, you haven't said yes or no. Is it possible somebody did this? Look at this one. You can see the lines really tight right here. The peaks, but then it gets over here. It's like, wait, whoa. Did somebody actually lay that out? Okay, let's go over. I want to I guess what I was going to show you in the Facebook, I'll show you first, and then I'll just click on it because I'm getting lazy. This was interesting. This was obviously, I would say, more modern day. I'm not going to try to claim that's ancient. But when you go back to the Facebook to the very first couple pages, we find this thing. So let's click on that and just go straight there. I can show you where it's at, though. I pretty much already know. Not that. And the reason why I find this quite interesting is because we see these same lines. Now, if I click on two-dimensional, you see stuff out in the middle of the desert that's looking interesting. I would say that's modern day stuff going on there. You can see some other interesting lines, though, underneath all that stuff. But what I'm showing you here is what I'm calling dikes. I mean, there are these long lines going across the desert, and they seem to be starting and stopping. Oh, thank God, humanity! Yeah, let's get you on. I need the way that this happened. Wait, okay, answer this one, and hopefully you can type this one. When you see this line coming down here, it stops right there. Now, don't tell me this is one of those desert walking rocks, because it looks like I can't get any closer than that. But it doesn't look like one rock going across the desert. And if it were a walking rock, this track that is left wouldn't be three-dimensional. It would be concave. But here you see that the water or something breached it. It's got a shadow. I don't believe that that's a pit. It stops and starts again, and it shifts over to do so. Did the rock jump? And this thing is gigantic, right? Let's measure the rock. Well, you know, the thing about Randall Carlson, he was talking about the richat structure in that video. This is 500 feet. 500 feet exactly. Let's measure it from side by side. It doesn't look like it's that wide. It looks like it's about this wide. It looks like that's kind of right about there, maybe. And that's 200 feet. See, it's 200 by 500 feet. And it's not really a rock. It's kind of spread out, and it's the erosion is letting the this little, what is that? Kind of like a, what is that thing around Christ's head? So did you finish writing down that previous? It's 94113. Yeah, but it's runoff from water, right? Okay, so the Randall Carlson thing is from the richat structure, and he is talking about the quarries in the richat structure were quarried by somebody hundreds of thousands of years ago. I heard that when I was still in Taiwan before I ever went to the richat, and I wanted to know, what is he talking about? Where are these quarries at? Well, it took me a long time to figure out they're right over here. The quarries in the richat. Now that is a quarry. That is a quarry, and is that on a plateau? So he calls this a chert outcrop. I'm sorry. I was beside the richat when I went to that spot right there. That's the new location. That's the walking rock. The walking mountain, actually, right? Let's say that. It's a walking mountain. Because you can find walking rocks in desert playas. And what happens is it fills with water, and the wind blows, and the rock starts to what's the word I want? Not... it starts to glide across the wet sand. And because it's so flat, it does create an indentation in the ground underneath it when it does it. But that thing, that's a lot bigger than what I was talking about. Yeah, I was talking about the quarries. Now, the one I just showed you is up here. So, for some reason, they have the same shape. I find that interesting, and I wonder, are these also ancient cut-through canals? Because according to what I've seen, if this were full of water to this shoreline here, and yes, I believe that's a shoreline, and if it's not a shoreline, then it's the edge of the bowl. We have shorelines in here, like that's a shoreline down there. So, but that's not the big shoreline. The top shoreline here, even if it's full of water right there, from what I've seen, this still sticks out a little bit. So even if it were full of water in here, there would have been a need for quarries between the rings. So I question that. Then again, I am okay. Now we have a no. All right, humanity. I know you can answer it, but we need the answer now. Let's. Did you get that number? I gave you the first 5, and then I gave you 94113. Did you write it down? Now you know my phone number. Give me a call. Is this on? I think you can call me. Oh, it's still starting. I'm sorry. I'm turning my phone on, so if you tried to call me already. I gave you my number. That's how. Where are you calling? Where are you located, humanity? If you put your number down in the chat, I'll call you, and then... I didn't show it. I said it. I told you to write it down with a pencil. I didn't want to give it all in one go. Just to let the hardcore watchers know my number. You can call me anytime. I might be asleep, and I've been avoiding calls recently because somebody was asking me for favors, and I didn't want to deal with them. Okay. Yeah. The whole richat is a mystery. I think I got to go back, and I need to just stay there for a month. Oh, if you're in the UK, I don't think you want to call my phone. You're going to pay a lot of money to call my number. Okay, let's turn off. This is the walking stone, but let's look at it. Oh, that's a picture. Let's look at the walking stone one last time. I have it marked up here. And I've already been talking for 47 minutes. I'm breaking my new rule. So this stone with this trail of dikage, which starts and stops there, and then it continues up, and it seems like maybe it starts and stops again. There's a lot of activity here. Looks like something cut over it and broke that, and you can still follow it. It kind of disappears there, right? Or is it this one and it continues? Whoops. Hate it when I do that. And there's plenty of other long lines. See, I'm just... Humanity hoax. I'm just trying to remember... Okay, I guess that's it. It seems to disappear right about there. And by the way, how far is that? Let's measure that. That's about 1.5 miles. Or no, it's about... Yeah, I'd say that's about 1.5 miles. Oh no, 26,000 feet. That's a lot more than that. That's I can just say it's about 5 miles, right? Ah, got it. 5.03. Yeah, that's a big mystery too. I'm just gonna put. You know what? I should just. I know a lot of people have this special thing that shows the chats. We can go back to the beginning. I'd be surprised if Ziggy Dan was still here after all this nonsense talk. Storm Run Gaming, Joe, Orfeo. I'm going to go find your channel and make sure I'm subscribed because you said that nice thing about my voice. You don't have any content. All right, well, when you do, I'll be notified. Okay, so how are we going to do this? We can still try that. I got my... you don't do Facebook. We could do it in Facebook. See, I lived in Taiwan for 30 years, and I needed platforms like Facebook to talk to people back home. And always broke my heart when friends would give me the, I don't do Facebook. Or they did Facebook enough to have an account, but they never logged on. I lost touch with a lot of friends because I couldn't. I mean, I couldn't call home. I used to have these 25 years ago in 1997. I would use so many different techniques to phone home, and the internet was not strong enough, and a lot of my family didn't do any internet that could communicate. All right, what's longer? Well, something happened in there. I mean, I believe that it was struck. If you don't know my thoughts on what happened to the richat structure, you need to watch more of my videos. But this right here, this circle, when you go there here and you look at it yourself, you see that the mountains are missing. So what happened to the mountain? Where is it? What happened? How did I was still over there. So when you zoom into the richat and you look at the rings, let's get rid of all the graphics. Just look at the topography for a moment. And we look at that middle ring here. Well, you have 3 quadrants of mountains. Let's get closer. They even show them in the pre-rendering under the map part right there. I can make you see it. I always say Sebket de Guelb, but it's Sebket el Guelb, the heart of salt. I've been there. I went there. I stood there. It doesn't look like a volcano, which is what mainstreamers say. That's a volcano. Even Randall Carlson says that's a volcano. Well, how does a volcano make mountains disappear? Okay, I can understand that if the volcano came out, the mountains here would be gone. But what happened to the mountains that would have been here and here? They're not there. So what happened to those mountains? So I believe that's an impact. I believe everything was disintegrated. I mean, this is a perfect ring right there. When I drove there, the road goes right in there. You can see the road right there. So we drove right in there, but you still have to go over it. I guess if you keep going straight, you get to a point. This was kind of rugged right there. I do remember that very clearly. And right after we dealt with that, I'm like, pull over. Now over here, there's also a flat, and that's fenced off now. I've talked about that. And the road here goes around, and also there's a road way over here. That's up on the plateau. So I don't know. I think there's a road over here somewhere too, because I guess that's it right there. Technically, that's a waterway, but roads and waterways are about the same. All right, where's my chats? Okay, I can't grab. There we go. All right, water hose on jet. That's what you think that is? It took away the mountains? Whoops, what did I just do? Did I just kill my stream? No. I am almost ready to get out of here. I'll tell you what, Humanity Hoax. It's right at the end. You couldn't call me. How about Skype? Do you do Skype? Because I'd love to get your feedback live. Here's my Skype, and that I don't have any money on it, so I can't call you. But if you want to go to Skype, it's david.stig.hansen. I don't know if you can see that. And now you know that I know David Dubine, who I met in Taiwan, and now he's got a big YouTube channel. Okay. Where's the chats? No Skype? Well, I'll tell you what. Humanity Hoax, you got to give me your paper. I'm not going to stay on this live stream all day because I got something I've got to do. It's already 1 p.m. I was planning on being done after 30 minutes, but because this is now 53 minutes into it, I'm going to try to make it under an hour. I'm still looking at the chats. Yeah, that's an interesting point too. Perfect circles. Why are they elliptical? And they are kind of elliptical, right? Though the thing that I say about that is that because we've got what I believe that's the bedrock. That's the bedrock. Whatever was on top of there, that so-called island, so-called Atlantis, whatever you think it was, I believe that it was disintegrated by that impact. And what's left is hard. If you know what the Adrar Plateau is, let me find a picture for you, because I have a couple pictures ready. Where? I think they're on. Okay, so everything got rearranged. There it is. Here, I've got these pictures here. I can even show you this whole... These are a bunch of pictures I took, I think, on my last one. What's this? So this is actually looking over... This is the Adrar Plateau looking over at the how do I describe it? See, this is the problem, right? I wish I could show all my windows. So right about here, I believe that that spot was right about here. Now maybe it was over here, or maybe it was even like over here. I do believe we could see the small buildings that are right around here. El Bayed, it's called. El Bayed Biet, it's called. And by the way, I think that's mining as well right there, because it kind of matches over here what's going on over here. So you see these lines right here? I believe this is all ancient mining. These straight lines go for miles and miles. Okay, so I do believe that there was something going on along the north edge of that whole thing. I can't see your chats. I got a great out music going. I'm just going to play this different tune. I think it's pretty good. Let me just kill that and find the chats. And yeah, there's also, in addition to these straight lines, which you can see very clearly they're straight, and I do believe that they may have been cuts, but they turn into quarry paths. But then you also have what's seen here, these rocks, I believe they're quarries by giants. And my favorite one is right over here. Let me zoom out so I can find it and go south again. It's right here. My favorite one is here. I call it the Giant's Quarry because these stones are gigantic. And for a human to sit there and... Oh, let me try to measure it. I mean, let me do 3 of them. What's going on here? Let me do 5 of them. So that's not very far. That's only a tenth of them. I'm sorry. That's only, 12.53 smoots. Whatever a smoot is. Anybody know what a smoot is? First person to tell me what a smoot is in the next 10 seconds wins the prize. Feet. Okay, 70 feet. So one rock is like 20 feet wide. And it's like their teeth down there. Let's get a little closer. So 10 foot across, that's not so bad. 14 foot across. Definitely, I tried to go there, but unfortunately there was no way I was going to get there in the allotted time period. But can you just imagine just hiking through there? That's what I really want to do. That's kind of far though. We're talking about almost 100. How many miles is that from the middle? Almost 100, I'd say, from the middle of the richat. I could be wrong. So 35. And getting to the edge, if you're in the middle and you get to the edge and you have to get up the mountain around here, I don't think you're going to be able to climb just anywhere. Climbing that thing is going to be tough. It's 800 feet. So if I hike, first I've got to get from the middle. If I want to go from Wadan, I think maybe the better thing for that trip literally is to start in Attar and go this way. Because if you're starting from Attar and going this way, and you've got the road, it's a pretty good road. Where is it? No, I know that road. I'm not talking about that road. I'm talking about probably this road, but getting up here and then turning right somewhere. Where's the road? No? Where's the road? Well, if you could get through here. Oh, by the way, that fort right there, that fort's rarely seen. That was in a movie. I guess maybe through here. See, they say you have to take a camel. So, if I want to get up where, Stormrun? Let me go through the chats because a lot of chats have happened. Oh, David Orfeo? Whoops. So, oh my gosh. Let's try to keep control. Okay, you know what? I need to see it for myself. Okay, there we go. All right, humanity. I can't wait for you to answer all of it. hit me up on Twitter, and we're going to talk today. We're going to get this figured out. And maybe I can even video it, and then we can share it. Or maybe we can get one of those spaces going and have an after, and everybody can join the space. If you don't know my Twitter, it's at Stigamup, at STIGEMUP. It's right here. Not there. Not there. Brad, where is it? Who's that dude? I forgot who he is. I recognize him. What is stopping me from dressing like that? Where's my profile? Okay, right there. Stick 'em up. Add me. Humanity Hoax, are you in here? Okay, let me go back over those. Yeah, he's a busy guy. It's hard to get him on the phone. I do call him once in a while, but we're just kind of going back and forth on Skype there, and he leaves me voicemails sometimes. All right, so now I got to read all of these really close. What did we? I actually tried to claim ownership of the richat. Went to the middle. And there was like, it's not even there anymore. It used to be somebody put up like a business in the middle of the richat, and I went and tried to claim it, and so they mailed me a postcard. I kind of am wondering if the postcard ever made it to the middle of the richat. I kind of doubt it, but I didn't get the postcard, so I wasn't able to get the number off of it to claim it. Okay, northeast very tip of the richat shows a clear path of water going around the north and south of the richat. If it were that much water, it would have... It said, I can't read bad English. Gone over the mountain. Sorry. You got to have your past participle. Oh, I'm sorry. You have to have your... Yeah, not the simple past, but the past participle. Would have, could have, should have, mountain. Okay, so let me understand this. When we're going over here... Let me read that one more time. Let me get those chats over here so I can read them. You said it's just the north, very east, very tip of the richat. Okay, so when you say... It's tough for me, because when you say very north tip... Okay, I saw a question, how do you get up there? And the answer was there's a road, barely a road right here. You can barely see it. I mean, honestly... there is not really a big road. It's very hard to find. Okay, there it is. There you go. So here's the road, and to get up there, see, it turns into several roads. So it really breaks up. And yeah, you're going over rocks. Your tires better be thick. So as we get closer to the... See, I think it's this way. And as we get closer to the thing up there... You can find... Oh, now I lost it. Where is it? I totally lost it. And we came around. So we were like going this way for some reason. Because I didn't want to do this, but we came out the north side. So it was something I hadn't done before. But we were in the middle, and we went north. Out of here, there's a road. It's a tough drive because I actually thought we were out when I got to about here, and we crossed this long, and then suddenly I realized that we're not even out the third ring yet. And then somewhere around here we got out, and then we started driving, and I said, you gotta go that way. Oh, we had a guide with us, so the guide was telling us to go that way. So we were like right on this road here, I think, and it was a tough road because it's disappearing. And then we had to kind of cut across this one area that, see, I kind of feel like that was it right there. We had to cut across to find this other road that went that way, this way, yeah. So there it is. And now the question is, where did we go next? It's a tough kind of up here. So when I say 35 miles, it's not a straight line. And so when we finally got up to the top, you know, there's a road in here somewhere. And it was a tough one. It was like barely a road. It was more like a river of rocks. There's a lot of rocks around here that show that it's underwater. Okay, I think that answered, don't worry, so don't worry about Smoot. Okay, I totally missed that. Who answered the Smoot question? Look at the sand just above the richat. That's what I was looking. There's a small blue mountain with what looks like a sapphire pointing out. Okay, sand just above the richat. Are we talking about this sand? That's up on the plateau. Or are we talking about this sand right here? This is all blue. That being said, I'm going to keep going because I'm not sure. You got to go around. I think that for my next trip, going from a tar is the only way. Because you're going to have smooth sand. And yeah, I'm worried about getting stuck in the sand. I almost got stuck in the sand in my Ford Explorer, all-wheel drive, because it doesn't have good tires. If you know what kind of tires my Ford Explorer needs to handle sand better, let me know. And if I don't respond, then put it down in the chat after this video has been published, because we're already over an hour. I didn't want to do the over the hour thing. Looking at the chats. They split in a fork around the Richat Island. So when you're talking about the Richat Island, are you talking about the middle? Or are you talking about the whole thing? The third ring out here. We do have our lowest points. We do have water, you know. I'm pretty sure there's a body of water here. Maybe not. Maybe not. They had a lot of rain this last year. So there was literally a lake right here, apparently. And I think that this thing... Over here, there's that little bed that I pointed out earlier. That thing was full. I think it's right there. I think that filled up with... Oh, there it is. Yeah, you see a line around it. There's a fence around it now. See, and I didn't even see that fence. So when we went through here, I believe there's a road that goes on this side of that fence. But there's also a road that goes past the fence over here. We went through here at sundown, and the bluffs were all very, very beautiful and very, very symmetrical. Not like you see here, but the bluffs... Really, you can see the video on my channel, on this channel. I do believe this is water. I mean, of course it's dry during the middle of the summer, but I do believe that during the rain it gets filled with water. And that's why we have these salt playas. And I see a dike there. I'm very curious. That sticks up a little higher. Does that mean that it's added later? That really does look like it was not put on the bottom. Right there. Anyways, I'm just talking about stuff, and I want to get out of here. So, is there anything unresolved? Type it now, because the original Burning Man. Now we need to do Burning Man Richat. I would love that. This is coffee, and it's got honey and milk. It's cold. I made it yesterday. I do not like to waste my coffee. If I have a half a pot sitting there from yesterday, I'm gonna drink it. Alrighty. Everything above 500 feet elevation. Well, 500 feet's not very high. This is 500 feet below this. So, oh, and I forgot to show the picture. I was going to talk about this Adrar Plateau. See, when you're going up, okay, I know how we can do it. Let's open up Google Earth Pro again. I still have it here. And when you see, look at those lines. That's why I started this video. And I'll just be honest with you. This is still a mystery to me. Can't wait to hear what Humanity Hoax has to say about it. Going over here, see, you got a lot of photos, right? Got a lot of photos. Now, I'm going to call you back in about 5-10 minutes, okay? Talk to you later. Bye. Oh, see, he hung up. I don't even know if he really wanted to call me. Okay, what was I going to show you? What was I going to show you? I was going to show you... Oh, yeah, over here. I was going to show you right here. The Attar Road that goes up this mountain. There's some photos of the mountain drive. And you can see for yourself what this mountain consists of. Okay, this is the Adrar Plateau. Where's the... There we go. Let's open this image up. And let's get looking at it. Let's get going. Let's look at it. Okay, it's kind of hard to get... Can we... Alright. I was zoomed in already, I guess, from a previous adventure. So here you can see what the Adrar Plateau consists of. Why am I saying this now? Because when we talk about this thing being 800 feet down into the richat, okay, I'm sorry, the Adrar Plateau, the richat is a big bowl. Water doesn't escape. Now, I agree that, especially if it was Atlantis, that the exit point was here. And yes, I showed you a canal that goes straight through this mountain that points right at it. The canal's right about there. It's just amazing that this canal exists. That canal that I'm talking about is the reason why I'm Team Richat, again, for being the location of Atlantis, with all these canals. And there's canals everywhere. There's a canal right over here. I believe that's another canal. There's a canal here. There's canals all over this mountaintop. There's canals all over here by the moving rock. So I do believe that this, if it wasn't Atlantis, was still an ancient civilization. Yeah, it's an amazing natural structure. I don't think it's a volcano. It's 45 kilometers across. And it just happened in the middle of this. Now, when we see this picture, let's get back to the Google Earth, because I want to try to find other pictures. This might be at the top. No, that's it? Okay, let's get another shot of it. Yeah, I remember this, because when you're driving down, you're going down through these plateaus. So you can see this road. When you're driving on this road, you're right up close to it. You see what the Adrar is made of. This is washed away. There's all sorts of machining on top of the richat, of the Adrar. And when you get up here, this is the Adrar. This is 800 feet lower. This is what I call the Attar Plateau. And then when you get down here off this plateau, you're down way down here. That's the floodplain. So when we look up here and we see all this machining that went on, the question is, yeah, I believe that's machining of some sort. And when we see all that, I kind of want to see chats. When we see all this, and then we realize when you're going up here and you're driving up this mountain to get to the top, and right up here where you enter the plateau, it's right, where is it? I think it's, that's right there. So you're seeing a couple of the plateaus, but over here there's all of these plateaus. They've been weathered down, probably from the flood, but every single top of every single one has, well, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that right there. I used to think that I saw machining up there. You see some of it. You see some of it. Up here you can see some of it right here. This has been machined right here. And then you've got the canal that I walked down. Okay? This canal, I walked down this canal, and that's like at least 10 foot, closer to 15 foot deep. And there's trees in there. So when you see what this Adrar Plateau is made of, you realize that the richat structure is this 800 foot deep bowl with concentric mountains in the middle of it, which it makes it more than just a bowl, right? You know, it's hard for me to say that if you started digging, you wouldn't keep hitting stuff that's like this. Let's try to find another one. Oh, that's it? I'm in Google. Okay, so I want photos. I want images. I wanted to try to find some more images. So again, going back to the entry point, this area here, no camels. This area here, where is it? Oh, it's way over here. Oh, it's right. It's right there. Is where you enter. So this is the place you're going to see pictures of all those rocks. Let's see if we can get a few more. Look at that. I really think that looks like it was machined. That's different, though. Let's take a look at that later. Over here, is that not really machined? Okay, so maybe I was wrong about these plateaus out here being machined. And maybe that means that what has been machined is a lot younger than I originally thought. Hundreds and thousands of years, right? So, you imagine that this thing is 2,000 feet. From the bottom of the flood basin up to the top, it's 2,000 feet. And then you've got the richat structure cut into it that's going down about 800 to 1,000 feet. So what I'm trying to make the point I'm trying to make is that this is bedrock. If you're going to start digging, there's nothing to dig for. Alrighty, guys. Got a couple people chatting it up, so I definitely want to try to go over it while I'm live. Everything black you see versus the sand of the desert. Okay, well, I call that the Adrar Plateau. So this is the eye of Africa. It's shaped like an eye. And you know, the funny thing about this canal here is how it separates two different materials. Now, the modern day scans do suck. I don't know which one of you is saying that. What's going on here? I don't even know what's happening here. But the modern day scans do suck. I mean, I think this is very hard bedrock. But when you compare it to over here, it's definitely a different color. I mean, even right here, it's just a different color altogether. Was that shade? Was that a shadow? I mean, maybe we should be looking at the other one. But this is what I call the Adrar Plateau. It's got two shorelines over here. Down on the north side, you've got an ancient lake bed with a salt playa. And then it's disappearing underneath the sand. So I do believe that this whole area could have been an ancient sea. And then, yeah, the Taman Reset, which was right here, probably filled this sea full of water. And that canal that you see right here going around, this is one of the very first canals we discovered looking at this together. And that canal served the other side with water. So when you say 500 feet, I'm a little confused. But that is, it's 2,000 feet above sea level. Yeah, my nose itches. 2,000 feet above sea level. And the base here, the bottom there, we can look right here. Let's just look at it. So yeah, the white part is 2,000 feet above sea level. The yellow part is down about 1,300. It's turning green, so 1,253. And you do even have, no, you don't really have anything lower than that. So I do think that we've got, it's like this bowl. I always think of Andrew Dice Clay. What's in the bowl? Last comments, guys. Okay, so above the sand, yeah, I think it's more like 2,000. Look at the green there, 924, and then look at the red there is 2,000. Where's the high point? So the highest point on the Adrar Plateau is over here, and this is also a mystery. I mean, look at that line, that squiggle. I do have a feeling that these thin lines here were put there to contain water. Maybe there was a sea here. There's also this line here. And there is a modern day riverbed that follows it and comes over here and kind of goes there. But I don't think you'd have a ridge like that. So you do have some stuff going on in this south area. I think the north side really shows an ancient sea. And we've got three lines that could have been the shores of that sea. And then we see maybe an 80-mile long cut through right here. Like they actually literally... I mean, how would that have happened? Why didn't the river just go around? But you see this line, it goes all the way through. There is kind of a breach. But when you follow it right there, there's kind of a breach right here. So maybe there was a landslide that covered it. But other than that, it's a straight line to me. We can measure that right now. Since I'm talking about it, it's more visual here because you see a riverbed and then you see it kind of cut through, and that's not a short distance. Yeah, and I don't think you can just drive through there. It's 42 miles, so I guess I was wrong about 80. Maybe I was doing kilometers. Anyways, I don't think you could drive through there now, but it just to me looks like there was a straight line going right through here. But no, maybe it went around. Maybe it got to here, and then it went this way, and then that way, and back over. I don't know. But I do think that the water that was contained... I mean, there was water here. This was water. You can see an ancient dam. Somebody created this to go across that playa lake, probably trying to hold the water here. I don't know. I don't know. And that's where I'm going to say goodbye. You guys, thanks a lot for so many chats. It was actually a little bit overwhelming. I couldn't keep up. But at the same time, it is time for me to go. This was that song I played at the beginning. It's kind of funky, but I think I'm done with it. But I have this other song Y'all have a good one.
Let me go, there's no doubt. Gotta get out of this small town. You took my heart from me. Now you're everywhere I see. Set me free, let me fly. Let me find new kinds of highs. We're just wasting here, waiting for another
Adventure.
We both know the score. We've been here once before. So many words unspoken. You took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to wait. I can take the pain. I will surrender. Let me go on a new adventure. My time, watch me build another life, find another space, explore the world and find my place. Hope you find some peace of mind, hope the night was worth your time. Threw my heart away, we won't see another day. We both know the score, we've been here once before. So many words unspoken, you took my heart, it's already broken. You don't have to